Good morning, and let the Monday morning ruckus begin right now. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne, and welcome to Things You Might Not Have Heard for today, Monday, March 27, 2023, where we're going to bring you yesterday's, or actually the full weekend's latest in information, politics, current events, and pop culture. We like to call the show if your go-to source of unconventional news, your news side piece, if you will, and we'll take good care of you with some of the big news and some of the smaller stories that may not have been hit on the big mainstream media, your diet for the day. We're going to talk about Jonathan Majors, and that story is developing literally as we're speaking, but we have a total of 10 news stories to go to that were vetted by you and by me out of the top 30 for the full weekend. And so if you don't see the story you like, you can sort of fix that. You can do that by following us on our feeds. We'll explain all that and how you pick the stories and just a bit. It'll take us about maybe 14 minutes to get through all the headlines, so stick with us for that. But in the meantime, stop by our main website, which is thisisaconversationproject.com. Not right now, just when we're done. So you can find more details about what things we're doing along the lines of everything we have at the website. Plus, we're almost done with March. One more week of March and one more week of me in the pledge drive mode. So yes, we'll have some more begging and pleading for more funds. We'll explain that in a bit as well. But right now, let's get to the news stories of them for this morning that were, of course, as we said, curated by you or curated by me and vetted by you. Let's get into the top one because everybody wants to talk about this one right here. And that is actor Jonathan Majors arrested for assault. His spokesperson denies wrongdoing. This is a story that basically developed over the weekend and changed. Now, what happened was New York City police actually arrested Majors after responding to a 911 call about a domestic dispute. A woman claimed Majors struck her in the face and put his hands on her neck, causing swelling, bruising, and substantial pain. His attorney, Mr. Majors' attorney, says allegations were false. There's video evidence claiming that it's not true, and all will be revealed and all shall be not quite forgiven, but we'll know the truth very soon. Now, the backlash from this came when many people across the Twitterverse essentially tweeted their responses to what happened, essentially saying that Jonathan Majors, this new guy that everybody's in love with, might not be so lovable after all, saying that there is a past history of him not being the nicest guy. And what really turned into a big thing is over the weekend, if you watch a lot of the college basketball this weekend, you watched a lot of TV this weekend, you saw a lot of Jonathan Majors walking through TV screens with troops in his new Army campaign. He is the face of the Army BRB campaign. Those ads were apparently pulled in the real time as things were going down. But we will find out probably today with more deeper detail on what's going on because it's the weekend and things are hard to get through in the weekend. How this thing will play out, if this video evidence will actually clear Mr. Majors and what's going down. Right now, the taste in the mouth of Jonathan Majors being said, not going down so well. Also not going down so well, the taste of the Murdaugh name. This time, it's Alex Murdaugh's son, Buster, who's named as a suspect in a murder case. Of course, Stephen Smith, a person of interest, a person who died a few years back, his death was ruled now a homicide, not a suicide or not a car crash as before. And now they're looking at Buster Murdaugh, the son of Alex Murdaugh, as being linked to this crime. Of course, Alex Murdaugh has just been arrested and tried and convicted, and he'll be sentenced fairly soon. I don't think he's been sentenced yet for the murder of his other son and his wife. This story takes a very bizarre turn as because of some evidence that came up in this trial, they exhumed the body of Stephen Smith to see what may come of this one. And now the son, Buster Smith, who is, of course, Stephen Smith's friend, is now essentially a suspect in this trial. We'll definitely be watching this one going down. So some U.S. teens have proved Pythagorean Theorem, which was thought impossible. Two high school seniors from New Orleans, think they have proven the Pythagorean Theorem, which defines the relationship between the three sides of a right-angled triangle, but experts have thought it impossible to prove because you can't use trigonometry without already accepting that the theorem is correct. So how do you prove something that you have to use to be used if you can't actually use it? So the two high schoolers are at the American Mathematics Society, a meeting in Georgia last week, showed their claim that has not gone through the rigorous academic peer review process, but they've shown some folks what's going on. They've shown their work. We're going to see in very soon whether Pythagorean theorem has been solved, which is quite of a conundrum because you have to use it to solve trigonometry, but you can't use trigonometry to prove that it works. Yet somehow it works. We'll see if these guys have cracked that code. Our fourth story for the day. Utah governor signs bill requiring teens to get parental approval to join social media sites. Big deal? Not so big deal? The Utah Social Media Regulations Act, that's its name, will require social media platforms to conduct age verification for all Utah residents that ban ads for minors and impose a curfew for people who use that. Essentially, not so much a time frame like after 10 o'clock, but essentially 40 minutes a day or something like that. The governor believes that the bill is the best path forward to prevent children from accumulating the negative effects of social media. Utah's the first state to introduce legislation requiring social media companies to get parental permission before users under age of 16 could join. Legislation comes after years of U.S. lawmakers calling for new safeguards to protect teens online. And the only problem is it's probably not going to work. There's so many workarounds there. I mean, there's teens right now just get on and say, yeah, sure, I'm 13. Sure, I'm 18. And like I said, TikTok has added the guidance to, limit teens' use because it's on by default. But you can just turn off the setting. We're going to see how well this thing actually goes into fruition. And we're also going to see that I did not change the title on the graphic, apparently. So it's not Friday the 24th. It's the 27th on Monday. But in this case here, Utah governor signs this bill, the first bill in the nation. Will others follow suit? We have a lot of governors, including one here in Arkansas, who are following suit on some very troubling bad legislation because they think they know better. We'll see how this one works. Chemical spill in Delaware River prompts Philadelphia officials to urge against drinking tap water. Now, this is a story that kind of went back and forth as well. There's a chemical spill in the Delaware River. Yes, the Delaware River actually feeds Philadelphia water at some point. But there was a drinking order or a non-drinking order for the water early in the weekend. They basically lifted that ban for the middle of the weekend and said the water is safe to drink and consume until about maybe today. They're expecting that today the contaminated water may actually reach the Delaware plant, and then it will be an issue. So for the rest of the day, most of the day today, you can still drink your water up in Pennsylvania. Follow this story closely to see how this one goes. But the news conference on Sunday said official says the contamination is going to come through the supply, but no disruption to school services. Everything's going fine. It'll be easy to work with, live with. Drinking it at some point, once they get it treated, will be an issue. Fetterman expected back soon, but no certain timeline yet. The new the new senator from Pennsylvania has been out for a few weeks due to checking himself into the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center back in February with signs of depression, serious depression. Now, we know his health condition from his stroke. We know the issues he's had with kind of coping with, rebounding from a stroke, having a stroke literally in the middle of a campaign for the Senate, winning the Senate seat, going to work, and having to sort of deal with the rush of being a new senator and deal with the rush of relearning how to do things in general. He's been at Walter Reed since February 15th, as we said, and he should be back soon. That's what the staff says, although they've not released an actual timetable on what soon actually means. Get well soon, Senator Fetterman. Claims that Silicon Valley Bank donated $73 million to Black Lives Matter are unsupported. A Newsmax article pointed to a database from the Claremont Institute, a conservative think tank that tracked pledges that contributors to the Black Lives Matter movement and related causes. Sorry for reading that one. And Silicon Valley Bank is said to have pledged $50 million over 5 years in this access to this innovation program and donated $20 million to a COVID-19 relief effort that was around it as well. Only problem is there's no actual proof that Silicon Valley actually did this. Now, this goes to essentially prop up the idea of the literally woke banks, banks giving money to woke causes to keep them afloat. We'll see whether this is done. Now, what we do know about Silicon Valley Bank is it's been bought out as of yesterday, and there's branch names are being changed literally immediately. And so we'll have more news stories on that as we update that one going through today. But Silicon Valley Bank and its donations to Black Lives Matter, not exactly, well, we can't, it's unsubstantiated. They can't find it. Snopes even said there's no proof of this. So we'll see how this one plays out in the woke bank scandal world. Mississippi weatherman Matt Laubhan, I'm totally butchering that, prays on air during tornadoes. We pulled this from New York Post, and this is something that was really big. Now, the tornadoes in Mississippi were no joke. And what we saw over the weekend was a meteorologist in Mississippi praying over during his newscast, praying during the weathercast as the storms went through the Mississippi Delta. It was a sight to be seen, viral moment, if you will, something you don't normally see, and something that is extremely touching for what went down. You need to just go to the link and watch the clip of the video. And if you haven't heard or just checked out on the devastation in Mississippi, check out some stories on what's going on down there. 23 people essentially died over the weekend in storms, Mississippi. And there's still some big storm warnings for the South going on today. Not quite as major as the beginning of the week or the beginning of the weekend, but still some things going forward. The LA United School District and union workers have led strike, reach deal. Who led strike, reach deal? Reading not so great this morning, but the deal has been struck for the LA Unified School District and the teachers, or the teachers of the school district and teachers. Yeah, that's how that works. After mediation with the mayor of Los Angeles Unified School District and the union representatives support staff reached a tentative agreement that could prevent campuses from being closed again to 420,000 students. The Local 99 of the Service Employees International Union led the strike that began Tuesday. Remember, this was not so much the teachers, but support staff. Tuesday through Thursday, the strike happened. It was a crushing blow to the city. And Karen Bass, the new mayor of Los Angeles, said we need to make this thing work. They have done this. Check out the link and go deeper in details into the actual tentative agreement. And we hope that all sides will keep this up and the kids can go to school without any issue going forward. And back to school one more time. A 19-year-old scientist who posed as a teen to attend high school sought a place of safety, says her lawyer. In January, a Rutgers University graduate enrolled in New Brunswick High School in New Jersey. By posing as a 15-year-old, she was arrested for providing false documents. And it should probably be more. Hae-jin Shin was banned from entering the school grounds, but continued to text students, even requesting to meet them outside school. A student at the school who wanted to help Shin feel comfortable in the new school reportedly received texts from Shin the night before she was arrested that made her feel frightened for her safety. There is no thing. I mean, I'm almost 50, and there is just no reason I would go back to high school, even if, I was magically transported back to a body of a teenager, let alone go back as an adult and just hide out in high school. There is no way in hell that's going to happen. Apparently, that's happening for a lot of people these days. This is our teaser story. This is a story that we could talk about tomorrow if you deem this one worthy of being in the mix. Now, tomorrow, we're only going to have 8 stories, pulling in from top 15 from the day. There are obviously less stories in the day, so less to pull from. So if this is one you'd like to talk about, you go to our feeds on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/This Is a Conversation Project and Twitter.com/TH_conversation. And you just engage in the story. Like it, love it, hate it, share it with folks. The more engagement the story gets, the higher it goes in the score, obviously. And then, like we say, we'll take the top 15, and then I'll pick 8 of them to make into our narrative for the day. The narrative could be used in this one right here. Headline reading: Wisconsin school teacher asked as Dolly Parton, the question she asked was, when will this end? She asked as Dolly Parton and Miley Cyrus's Rainbow Land is banned from concert. Elementary school is not being able to use the song Rainbow Land in a concert. A teacher asked why. We're asking why. We think we know why, but we'll talk about this if you deem this one to talk about worthy to talk about, I should say. That's the way you should actually say that. And that's simple. Engage in the story, and tomorrow, if it's in the top 15, you'll probably make it into the listing. Now, let's talk about our sponsor today. Our main sponsor today is Zenni Optical. This is conversation.com/ZENNI for the best pair of glasses you'll ever wear. These glasses right here I bought about 2 years ago, so I'm a little delayed in getting my my new prescription. Need to check on new glasses, but they're great. They're perfect. They love them. I love them, and they love me at Zenni Optical enough to give me great lenses, great frames, at a very great price. Check them out for all your needs for glasses, men, women, children, all the glasses you need, sports gear, blue blocking technology, transitions technology, safety glasses, trifocals, bifocals, all those things available at a very good price. You don't have to spend $99 and have to send a bunch back. You just buy the glasses you want, and if you don't like them, send them back. How about that? Go to thisisaconversationproject.com/Zenni. This is conversationproject.com/ZENNI. This is an affiliate link, so we do get a kickback, if you will, for you using Zenni Optical, but it'll cost you nothing extra, and you'll love your new pair of glasses from Zenni Optical. Sunglasses, too. I have sunglasses from Zenni as well. The Conversation Project lives at The Conversation Project. This is conversationproject.com, and this is where you can find all the details about what we do with The Conversation Project, along with things we do with other projects, well, not projects, other named properties and things we put out, such as a weekly wrap-up podcast, You're Welcome podcast, and the newsletter that comes out adjacent with this. Also, this video, I say video because I say this as I'm doing the video, is put out for replay throughout the Evernets and as a podcast. The audio was pulled from it, cleaned up, and sent to you as an audio podcast. So you can just listen to it in the car while you're doing work at the gym, things like that. A little bit later, of course, but you get it pretty quickly, and we're glad to provide that for you. Now, here's where the ask comes. For this month of March, we are trying to secure more funding. $200 additional funding every month, recurring funding to do some things, hire some more people to help out with things. You see some things I've done right here. These are done with a little bit of help, but I'm trying to get some more help. Plus, getting some more gear and some more tech to pretty the place up and make things work a little easier. If you deem what we're providing for you of good quality content, help us out. Go to our partnerships page and see if there's a way that you can directly partner up. Now, yes, you can go to our sponsors page and you can just visit one of our sponsors, buy things that way. We get money on that one. We love that, and that always is great. We're looking for recurring residuals that we know will be there, and this is a Patreon style thing. So if you think we're good enough for that, check out the partnerships page and just show us some love, if you will. Now, let's have some fun. Every day we go to the fun stuff after the news, and this is the time for Today Things you might not have heard. Starting off on March 27th, that's today, and all hail the Queen. It's Mariah Carey Day. 3/27 is Mimi's Day. Mariah Carey turning 54 years old on the day. Also hitting this birthday, sharing it just a little bit because it's all about Mariah Carey, of course. Nathan Fillion, 52 years old, of course, star of The Rookie, star of Firefly, and, you know, the guy from Castle. A lot of other things he's done as well. Just a good-looking face, if you will. A very versatile actor doing a lot of things, and people love him and show him some love on today. Give him a couple $1 pin to his shirt at 52 years old today, turning a little bit over half a century, him and Mariah. Halfway there is Halle Bailey, who, of course, is the new live-action, very, very black, red-headed Little Mermaid. Deal with it, folks. She's 23. It's her world, except when it's Mariah Carey's world. So just live in it. It's just got to go down like that. Today in history for this day, let's start off in 1998, where the Food and Drug Administration approved Viagra for use as a treatment for male impotence, the first pill to be approved for this condition in the United States. It's only been since 1988, right before the turn of the century, where all the ads of, you know, blue pills and, you know, touching people weird in bathtubs and throwing footballs through tires, all those things began only about 25 years ago. In 1999, a year later, Bill Minty of Bridgeport, Connecticut, boiled 6,000 eggs for his neighborhood Easter egg hunt in 10 minutes. He boiled the eggs inside of a mesh bag in a large washing machine at his dry cleaning shop. 6,000 eggs in 10 minutes. And in 2004, an Austrian doctor claimed picking your nose and eating it was one of the best ways to stay healthy. Innsbruck-based lung specialist Dr. Friedrich Buschinger said people who pick their nose with their fingers are healthy, happier, and probably better in tune with their bodies. He also said the fingers can get to places you just can't reach with a handkerchief, and eating the snot strengthens his body's immune system. So there you go. Pull up your nose and pick a winner, and you'll live much longer. There you go. Science, baby. Science. Today, we celebrate Joe Day. National Joe Day on March 27th, which means if you know a guy named Joe, celebrate him. It's that simple. It's a day to celebrate guys named Joe. My daughter, we call her Joe, JoJo, J-O. We didn't name her Joe, J-O-E. But as a nickname, she's Joe, so she gets a celebration. She'll probably get, chicken nuggets because all she eats is chicken nuggets. And today, one more thing you might not have heard. Research found the best marriages are those where women marry men who are less attractive than themselves. Psychologists who studied newlyweds found that men who were better looking than their wives were likelier to be unhappy and have negative feelings about their marriage. In couples where the wife is more attractive, both partners tend to be very content. So, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, women, get an ugly man to marry you. Make an ugly man be the wife of ugly man. I worked this thing out last night. It was smooth. It was going. But yeah, essentially, women should look better than their husbands and everybody's happy. If a man looks so great, then the man gets unhappy. We'll go with that. And we'll go with being done for the day today. Let's see if I got the right date right this time. Nope. Yep, got the right date. Monday, 27th of March, 2023. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne. Thank you so much for being a part of the show with us today. Lovely to have you with us here. We've done some things. We took a little time for the some spring break time, so a little slight downtime from the day job, not quite downtime, to do some things, play with some stuff, do a little here or there's, and do some things. So let us know what you like about what you see or what you hear that's a little different, or let us know what you want us to take back because it's not quite the same. We'll do that. We'll love to do that. Also, trying to stay pithy, which is the most important thing about this. We will not stop saying stay hydrated, stay limber, and stay on task because we need you to stay hydrated and limber and on task for all the grand things you are here to do. We're going to do updates on all the stories we're waiting to hear about Erasmus. Maybe indictment comes down today. Probably not. We're going to hear more about Jonathan Majors. Maybe that becomes an issue today. Probably not. But in the meantime, make sure you're following us on our feeds on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook and Twitter, so that you can be a part of the show. Tell me what stories we're talking about tomorrow. And, of course, if you deem us worthy, if we are worthy, then consider partnering up with us. Go to the partnerships page at our website and see if there's a way that we can work together to keep this thing going. In the meantime, love you all. Love you so much. We're going to wrap it up and go get ready for the day. I got a newsletter to publish. I got some audio to clip, and I've got to get to work. So you probably do too. Let's get out of here, and we're going to do this again more or less like this. A few less stories, maybe a bit more pithy tomorrow.